Why hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Today there was a patch, as there is almost every Thursday, but this time it's a bit more beefy than usual, in the sense that there's quite a decent chunk of changes that are happening, or I guess happened in the past, because they're already live right now. I'm just a little bit behind. Anyways, this video is for PC, and it is for July 9th, just in case you were confused. So, just gonna start with the Blood War in Avernus, because that's something that has been causing people a lot of strife over the past since it was released. And this is because that the rate that the Blood War meter, I guess, filled up it took very little time for it to actually get to the point where it would spawn a boss, and then when it did, it was a lot easier to get to the demon side than the devil side. So they've made some changes to how that works. And to begin with, the rate at which it tilts in favor of one or the other was decreased just flatly. So it's going to take a little bit longer to go from one side or the other side. And then also, it's the rate at which it goes to one side or the other now can become shorter or longer depending on how long it took for the team who won the previous round to gain the upper hand. So for example, if it takes like 5 minutes for the devil side to win, then it might take 7 minutes for the devil side to win the next time, just so that the demon side has an easier chance of winning. So that both bosses have an opportunity to spawn. And also, the faction which has most recently claimed the victory now gains the advantage more slowly. So if the devils win, it will take longer for the devils to win a second time. And then also, at the same time, the demons would have an increased chance, or increased rate at which the meter is filling up. I don't know if this is making any sense. If you lost the previous round, you have a better chance of winning the next round, and vice versa, you know. So as a result of all of that, it'll happen less often. A winner, I guess, will be chosen less often, but it'll be more likely for either side to claim victory instead of it being super easy for the demons in this case. There is one known issue with this, and that is when the same side wins twice in a row, and then if it fills up for a third time on their team, the enemies take longer than expected to spawn, and they take about 7 minutes to spawn. So if you're messing around and you notice that your team has won 3 times in a row and it's taken like 50 hours for the boss to spawn, that's why. Okay, now for those of you, I don't know how many of you there are, but those of you that have attempted Sarios challenge, there was a voice line that cut off, and that was just so bad, so they fixed that. Okay, but for real, more importantly, there was a chance for Phase 2 to begin brokenly before, and that would cause Sarios animations to not display correctly, and they fixed that. So animations are super important in trials like that one and Tom, so that was important. Okay, now on to classes, because that's what everyone is here for to begin with, I think. And we're going to do Cleric first, because Cleric is first on this list. For both Paragons of Cleric, Hallowed Ground, an area effect now appears on the floor of the. It's been like that all day. It just says, the area indicator effect now appears on the floor of the. So, I mean, you can infer that it didn't appear somewhere before and now it does. We just don't know exactly where that is, but maybe you do. Now, also with Cleric and the Devout Paragon specifically, there was a few issues that were fixed, and one of those being Astral Shield wasn't proccing Empowered Soothe or Battle Prayer, and it does now. And then also the Angel of Life feat did not reduce the divinity cost of Soothe to 0, and it does now. And then the Heal Over Time of Healing Word was only healing for 250 magnitude instead of the 300 that it's supposed to be. So Healing Word got a little bit better, but you just won't notice a difference because the tooltip still says the same thing. It will just be healing for the correct amount now. Okay, now I'm on Warlock because I wanted to show off something that was changed on Warlock. And I guess we might as well get to it, since I've been standing here for like 5 minutes or so for right now. So the Fate Pact feat gives a heal over time to Soulstorm and Revitalize and the other one. But the actual number that was shown on the tooltip was wrong. It said the heal over time that was given to Soulstorm was 400 magnitude when it was actually only 100, but it was increased to 250. So it says 250 now, and it heals for 250. So that is a buff. Not a nerf, just to clear things up. And then also it has a different visual effect, and this is one of the things that I had on my list to critique in the healing critique video that I was gonna do. But here it is. This is what Soulstorm looks like now. It appears to be a little bit larger also, because before it was only this small inner circle of animation that it looked like it healed in. So if it heals in that whole entire thing, that makes it pretty nice because it's larger and it's so much easier to see in combat now. Oh man, that was impossible to see before with all the Fruit Loops of nonsense on the screen that you had before. I mean, that's still there, but anyways. Pillar of Power now actually shows up properly whenever you're on certain surfaces that don't like it. So that's nice. Now, the last thing for classes is one thing on Paladin, Justicar Paladin, which is the tank, in case you were not aware. There was a problem where Divine Touch would heal for more than expected whenever you were healing 4 or 5 or more than 5 people, and so it's fixed now, so it doesn't do that, which is kind of unfortunate if you were using that as a Justicar, which I don't know very many who were, but, you know. Okay, and now we're on to some more general-ish stuff, but also specific stuff. I know that doesn't make any sense, but if you're new to my channel, just so you know, I don't make very much sense. So the first thing is that epic dungeons in general, the enemies in them deal a little bit less damage, which is kind of nice, but I wonder why that is. I'm assuming because of the healing changes, it would make it easier to keep up, and then also based on this next change to Lair of the Mad Mage, Arcturia's Cocoon takes longer to pop so that you have time to heal the person to full now, which is great. If you watched my first time healing on a Paladin in Mod 19, you probably saw that I struggled with that a lot. I don't know how much longer you have now, but it should be reasonably longer, and that is why I made the conclusion that the enemies are dealing less damage to better fit with the healing changes. If that is wrong, well, you know, I tried. So in Spellplague Caverns, Cabal doesn't live in a trash can anymore. I had that as a pinned comment in one of my recent videos. If you happen to see that, or have been in Spellplague yourself, you would have noticed that Cabal just decided that he was so grouchy that he decided to just build a trash can around himself and live in that. So that's gone. For now. Who knows if he might get grouchy again, but hopefully he's a little bit more tame. And also, in Tomb of the Nine Gods, Rosnisi has fixed ratings instead of the ones from Mod 20. It was confirmed that the reason that he was so difficult to defeat is because that he had accidentally received Mod 20 ratings, and so he was immensely difficult. I have an entire video about that if you didn't know about it, so I suggest you go watch my suffering so that at least someone benefits from it, because I don't think I did. Okay guys, we're almost done. We've got 3 things left. One of them I didn't even know existed. The other one I thought was fixed already, but apparently it wasn't. And then the third one just makes sense. So, in the Avernus zone, apparently lore items would drop from enemies, and then now you can just find it in a location unlocked by the storyline after you defeat the enemies. Didn't know about that, but I also have not gotten... I'm on, like, the 4th task of the campaign or something, so it probably was something that happened after that. And then you can now properly reclaim legendary mounts that were account-wide now, for real this time. This was something that they said they fixed before. It was available for me, but now it's available more correctly. And lastly, but not leastly, you can now buy a Metallic Dragonborn race reroll bundle if you already have the race unlocked in case you wanted to trade or sell it. That was something that I did see a few people complaining about because they're like, nah, I want to sell it. I'm sure that's exactly what they sounded like. But yeah, okay. Guys, that was it. That was the entire patch. Excuse you. This woman just walked up to me and shoved me out of the way. I must be not very intimidating. Anyways, I'm done for the day with these videos. So thanks for watching or listening or whatever. Hopefully you found it informative in case you didn't feel like reading the patch notes, because that's why the majority of you watch these videos. So, until next time, I guess, I will leave now. Okay, bye.